All right, I'm here. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm happy. I got some exercise. I went and touched grass this morning. I have caffeine. I ate breakfast. I am ready to rumble. Are you ready to rumble? All right. Look, we are starting early today. I can't wait any longer. Alright, let me go ahead and close Discord. Oh boy. Alright, I can't wait any longer, but I will wait a little bit longer. At least I'll wait a few minutes for people to get in. Oh, I had a good morning. No, seriously, I had a good morning. Okay, well, I did wake up, like, too early. Like, I woke up in, like, I don't know, 5 or whatever, and I just laid in bed for a couple hours. But then I got up I just lay there for a bit, and then I got up, ate breakfast, brushed teeth, got some caffeine in me, went for a walk around in the morning here. It was great. It was wonderful. I loved it. I should go out for walks in the morning more often. But yeah, I'm doing good. I am looking forward to ReFantazio. I laid there this morning and was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm really excited for this game. And then I was like, well, I have to temper my expectations. It's just a game. Calm down, please. So it is just a game, but I'm excited to get to try it. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a good time. I think it'll be a good time. I did temper my expectations on last night. I'm like, you know, it is just a game. It will be probably a good game, but it is just a game. It's not going to be perfect. I'm sure there's something about it I'm not going to like, but I think I'm going to like it overall. And at the very least, I get to play an JRPG where I don't have to grind up personas individually. I just have to grind up individual party members. Yes. Yeah. No, PQ and PQ2 have some great music. I'm excited to get to play PQ, after ReFantazio, actually, I think is my plan. So. Especially, like, PQ2's, like, female, femc protagonist song. Was it, like, Pull the Trigger or whatever? So good. Los Juice really cooked. You know, he wrote the lyrics. I just found out this like, literally last night because I was listening to No More Regrets. Or No More What Ifs from Persona 5 Royal. He wrote the lyrics for that. That's why there's a Burn My Dread reference in there. Probably. But but yeah, No More What Ifs, he wrote the lyrics for that. Or at least he co-wrote it. I want Q2 on OG hardware. I have Persona Q1 on OG hardware. I found a copy of it at a local secondhand game place, and so I picked that up earlier this year. I figured if I'm going to play it on stream, I might as well own it properly. Although I don't have, like, a capture card to capture from legit hardware. Those things are expensive. I do kind of want one, but, like, they're kind of expensive. I could buy that, or I could buy a PS4, so. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and get the game started up here in a minute. So I have, like, opened the game. It's like $80, yeah. The other cool thing is the 3DS, the Persona Q 3DS. That thing's cool, too. Although I think the SMT4 one is cooler, in my opinion. Like, the SMT4 3DS is, like, I think if I'm gonna buy a collector's, like, edition 3DS, I think that's the one I'm gonna buy. But, yeah. But, so I did open the game, but I didn't get past the, like, language select thing, because I just wanted to make sure it would work with OBS. Hey, Jeppo. We're starting, ReFantazio today. I had a great morning. Hope everybody's having a good day and everything. Let me pop over to the second thing. There it goes. Okay. Is it gonna pick up my controller? Is it not gonna pick up the controller? Do I need to restart the game? Oh, I know why. It wasn't the active window, that's why. That's one thing Atlus hasn't gotten good about, is, like, with their PC versions, like, they have to be the active window, otherwise they just don't render. Okay. Yes, English is fine. Audio language, I'll go with English. Yeah. Sure, why not? I wonder what the network features are. Probably kind of similar to Persona, where you can just check what other people did. Until the monster is barely visible. I'll just leave it as default. That's usually fine. I don't know, with the brightness stuff, it's always like, leave it at default or go up a couple of ticks, depending on the game. Unauthorized reproduction or distribution of all or any part of this product is prohibited by law. We appreciate your cooperation and support. Okay. I won't burn CDs with the demo. Yep. Work of fiction, any similarities, blah, blah, blah. We haven't even gotten to the title screen yet, and they're already throwing this stuff at us. Maybe there isn't, like, an actual title screen since it's the demo? Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, logo introduction. Like animation there. Yep, Studio Zero. I feel like this game is going to be somewhere between SMT and Persona in a lot of ways. Where you're going to get, like, the journey of an SMT game with, like, something like SMT3 Nocturne. But you'll have, like, some of the time elements of Persona and all that. Church corruption. Okay. Pretty standard so far.
A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Maybe I should have gone with the Japanese voice acting.
You should have done the same.
Oh, there's always time to change my mind before playing the full game, I suppose.
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
So I am wondering how cliche this plot will be. I feel like it's going to be fairly cliche, the overall plot, but I think the actual character should be good.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his
Gotcha.
own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet.
I think his name literally is Lucifer Lorenzo, because he's.
What will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable.
I think he's supposed to be like the main antagonist, kind of.
Within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come.
But I think his name literally is like Lucifer or something.
We must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this? Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet his Majesty's
Character designs are interesting.
Could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all? Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
Oh, okay, my bad. Luis, not Lucifer.
Die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
Okay.
Here begins the demo prologue of Metaphor
Oh, that's funny.
ReFantazio.
They have like a whole like
What we have to offer you is but a
depiction of
taste
somebody
the
with
story
like
from its
headphones
beginning.
and a controller.
But through it, your experience will mirror the full version. Should you wish it, you may carry over your save data to the full version. We thank you for expressing your curiosity about our tale of fantasy.
That's kind of a cool like little graphic. And it's not something that's going to be in the main game, obviously. You got like the city in the background and a depiction of what's clearly a guy holding a controller with headphones on, which is accurate. I am wearing headphones with a controller. Metaphor ReFantazio. Okay, we're finally at the title screen. Let me try something. Let me go sound settings. Let's try the Japanese. You know what? Let's try the Japanese. Let's see if that sounds better. Is there anything else I need to change? Oh. Everything else should be fine. Oh, here we go. Message speed fast. Yes, please. Thank you. Everything else should be fine. Yeah. Alright. I wonder if the main game's, like, title screen will be any different, because they just showed gameplay with the, like, logo over it here for the demo. So I'm wondering if the, main game will have, like, the same kind of title screen, or if it'll be more elaborate. It'll probably be different. It'll probably be more elaborate. Scheming man. Yeah, like I said, I think Metaphor is going to be a bit of a mix of Persona and SMT in a lot of ways. I think the story overall is going to be pretty stereotypical. Like, we've already seen, like, oh no, the king has died, and now there's a struggle for the throne. And I'm sure our MC will turn out to have been, like, the prince who, quote-unquote, died, you know? But anyway, I mean, hey, maybe we will actually be just some random guy, but I kind of doubt it. But anyway, yeah. It's not surprising to me. I was wondering if they were going to reuse, like, spell names or whatever. I figured there's a pretty high chance. Because, like, Final Fantasy does the exact same thing. Where, like, even its spin-offs... Like, think about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts uses all the same spell names as, like, Final Fantasy. I mean, that one, like, has some actual overlap with Final Fantasy, with, like, Final Fantasy characters. But still, like, the same kind of thing. Where it's, like, an offshoot of, like, the Final Fantasy series. And there are probably other offshoots I'm not aware of that do the same thing where they use the same spell names and everything. So, I'm not surprised that there's still some Atlus and Megaten DNA in this game. I think it'd be hard for a team that has worked on Persona and SMT stuff to completely get away from it unless they were deliberately trying to. Who's there? I don't have to read that. He already said it. It's interesting that's called Scheming Man. Oh, interesting. Kind of breaking the fourth wall a little bit here. Okay. Who shall guide the protagonist? Interesting. My name gonna fit? Hey, my name fits perfectly. Nice. Yes, that is indeed my name. You will name the protagonist later. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just leave the protagonist's name as default, or we'll give him a different name then. Is fantasy limited to the confines of imagination? What did you call it? A powerless creation? No, that's not true. People's fantasies and the fantasies they choose to indulge in can be very powerful. Even if you just want to talk about it on a pure factual level, art can move people. Stories can move people. Music can move people. Influence them. Regicide. For players who want intense battles, this difficulty can be changed later on. A high-risk, high-reward mode for only battle-hardened players. Do we go Regicide or hard? You cannot select this mode yet. Okay, well, we're going hard then. I'm guessing Regicide is like the new game plus difficulty then. We'll just go hard. That's fine. Hard it is. At the very least, I wanted to do hard. I wanted to give this battle system proper testing. I would have honestly gone for Regicide, I think, if I could have, but... These animation segments are a lot better than the Persona 5 animation segments. They really do feel like out of like sections of an actual like anime from like the 90s or something. Maybe not the 90s, but like the early 2000s or something. Interesting. That makes sense. I mean, there's definitely some like time elements like with Persona. Oh, the book. Something about the like heart design on the front of that book is very Kingdom Hearts of it, you know? The 3D the 3D model of the mech walker that they use is not too bad. The filter makes it blend in pretty well with the other elements of animation. A very prestigious start, to be sure. Memorandum, huh? Oh! Ah! Gauntlet Runner. Okay. Right. Magic Igniters. A tool that acts as a conduit for magic power without which people cannot perform magic. To own or use them, one must obtain a permit from the kingdom by passing a test, with some exceptions, such as those serving in the state army. Igniters can be costly, depending on power and specifications, and purchasing them is akin to buying land or housing. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Well, at least that's some interesting info about, like, the, magic system, which is one I wanted to know. Sancticism, a monotheistic religion devoted to the worship of one God, the Almighty, the religion of majority across the United Kingdoms. Its sanctors preach that uttering the prayer that with one's whole heart will reach God, bring salvation. It's the state religion, and the Sanctus hierarchy is deeply intertwined with the kingdom's politics. Currently, the crown theocracy is at the heart of the kingdom's political affairs. Okay, interesting. So you have like a whole like glossary of terms and everything. That's interesting. I might paw through this at some point. 1% collection. Okay.
指がつながってるだけマシね。匿名のことはバレずに済んだし、幸運だったと思いましょう。
You alright?
そっちは大丈夫？
私の心配できるなら大丈夫そうね。分かってると思うけど、私たちの正体が誰かにバレたら終わりだからね。
Her model looks different than I thought it would.
失敗したらもう行き場なんてないんだから。
Tradia Desert. Interesting.
大丈夫？
You don't look hurt though, so that's the good news. You can get moving, right? I think we should find a place where we can see the whole area. Okay. Basic controls, move, dash, dodge, enemy attacks. Interesting. Some actions you can perform and the corresponding controls are displayed at the bottom of the screen. Oh gosh darn it, not again.
行くわよ。
Are they really gonna... Ooh. Okay. Hold on. Display settings, no. Graphic settings, yes. Extra quality, whatever. There's your Pixie, yeah. Yeah, for the Pixie only run. Ah, it could be kind of interesting. I guess for the Pixie only run, since she's an assisting character, I'm guessing that you would just play through with only the protagonist. That could be kind of interesting. I'll leave this as normal. What I'm looking for is a UI thing. I'm looking to see if you can turn off certain elements of the UI. Ah! Aha! Oh. Auto-detect button notation. Oh, this is just for if you're playing on Xbox or PC or consoles or whatever. Okay, whatever. Gosh darn it. They still have not given us a way to turn off elements of the UI. Stop making such pretty games and then, like, not letting us turn off elements of the UI, Atlus. I don't need the button prompts at the bottom of every game. They've done this ever since Persona 5, and I've started to really dislike it. The fact that there's always, like, button UI at the bottom of the screen covering up, like, the actual gameplay. Whatever. I'll just have to live with it. Okay, tutorial time.
気をつけて。
Face height. Press left trigger to use face height. Oh gosh, it is Persona 5 all over again. This ability lets you see what Gallica senses in the environment. Okay. Gotcha.
いい？
Okay, so there is the dodge thing.
強い敵がいるみたい。厄介ね。
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. Fantasy is dead. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, I tried as well.
いい？
Alright. You just gotta avoid him then.
急いで。見つかったわ。注意して。
Oh, hello. Can I clamber up this rock? Nope. Okay. The filter's odd. It kind of reminds me almost of, like, the Borderlands filter. With, like, how thick the outlines are on, like, objects. Especially with this desert area, it definitely feels a lot like a Borderlands map. Refresh my memory?
手順ってなんだっけ？
命より重いって言ったよね。まずはオートに入って歩兵者で新兵として採用されるよう動いて。これは王国の命運がかかった匿名。でも死ぬのは嫌。絶対やり遂げましょう。
Okay.
日が暮れる前に抜けないと危険ね。 めげずに急がなきゃ。不安は現実に恐るべき怪物を生み出す。これ、私たち妖精に伝わる言葉よ。いつもの魔法をかけてあげる。気休めくらいにはなるでしょ。
Okay. So she can heal you, I guess? It's as though music is playing directly in my mind. The effect of Gallica's magic is inspiring. Oh, music was the first magic the world ever knew, after all. Right, I don't have to read this stuff out loud. I wonder if I should go for English voice acting just so I remember I don't have to read stuff out loud. But that's how we're doing the music diegetically then, is just the pixie is always playing music in our head. That's funny. Okay. Relief, Grand Trad is already in sight. Okay. Almost there. Let's keep moving and try to stay out of sight. Should we just go for English voice acting? Well, okay, here's the real test. Let's do the English voice acting for a minute and see how bad or if the Pixie's like voice acting is annoying, because we're gonna be hearing a lot of it. So if the English one is annoying, we'll have to get rid of it. But I wonder if we can fight these wolves. Nope. Okay, we can't fight the hyenas.
Stop kidding around. Get up.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, champion against fear, rise and face anxiety.
Okay. That's not bad. I was expecting a much higher pitched voice for, yeah, I guess so. Although, I think that it's... Yeah. It's probably fine either way, honestly. But, like, the Pixie voice isn't, like, as high pitched as I was worried it would be. She's not British. She's not British enough. Yeah, you wanted Irish redhead pixie. Honestly, that would have been kind of nice, not gonna lie. Now that you say that, yeah. If she was like an Irish redheaded pixie, that would be fun. Oh, this is bad. I wonder if I should turn subtitles off if we're gonna do English voice acting.
This land of 8 tribes and 3 nations, all blessed by the power of magic. The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. Uchronia is shaken to the core by the sudden death of its king. Anxiety breeds dissent among the tribes. Disparities tear them apart, and no mortal mind remembers the heroic tales upon which their land was built. By this story of fantasy,
Yeah.
may this faded world be painted anew.
O great seeker, bearer of fantasy empowered. Hear my wish and come forth from thy epoch of glory to grant me thy something. I didn't see what the last thing was. Yeah, I did see that too, yeah. Because he has the yellow and blue eyes and the blue hair.
Whoa, just look.
Although he's a bit darker skinned than either of them, obviously. Because Aegis was literally a robot. And he actually has some color to his complexion.
Get on with it, then! Drop the dog! Hang him dead! Please! I've done nothing wrong!
Oh, yeah.
Dog! Don't try to deny it! You trample the law for the fun of it!
Let it be known, for misuse of an igniter, you will hang by the neck until dead.
So they're really not pulling any punches with this fantasy story, which is interesting.
No way that crowd was going to listen to anything a Paribus said.
Such a shame.
Might you spare some coin?
You gotta be careful with that, dude.
Oh,
Careful!
hurry!
Don't you have any street smarts? Come on, kid.
I feel like the pixie is gonna be really...
Tourists here. Gotta stay focused.
Like, if she's a good character, it will elevate the story a good amount. If she's a bad character, it will be Morgana 2.0. So far, she's pretty good, though. I'm glad they didn't give her, like, a high, squeaky pitch voice, you know? Like, because they could have easily done that, and I'm really glad they didn't.
Capital's incredible. Just look at all the different tribes. You never see this kind of diversity out in the countryside. Not that it's very balanced. I see more Plamars and Roussants than anyone else. Which means a dopey Elda kid's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Try to keep your head down, okay?
I don't know what it is. His neck there looks a little off. Like, it's bending at a weird angle in that animation. It's interesting that they're not using traditional fantasy names. Because they're clearly referring to certain, like, they're not calling them, like, beastmen or, like, dogfolk or something, you know? They have specific names. She's clearly bootless for the feet crew. Well, also, she doesn't walk, so why would she need shoes, other than as accessories? They would just add extra weight and drag her down. Yeah, I did see art of her in, like, kind of a knight's kind of uniform in one of the loading screens. Although my face is kind of covering up her little animations in the bottom right for the loading screens.
Hey, did you hear what they're saying about His Majesty? They say it wasn't illness at all. I heard it was foul play, assassination.
Shh, careful.
It really is Assassin's Creed.
But it's just like the prince, isn't it? They say he was attacked in the dead of night. A war of succession is coming, I tell you.
No, you're good. That's completely valid, too.
Sounds like monsters have been prowling the countryside.
I mean, it's not surprising that he would somewhat resemble other Atlus characters, if he's especially Persona characters, if he's drawn by and designed by, like, some of the same people who drew and designed those other characters.
The army's really gone to hell. It's a far cry from when we had
What is he? Is he
I'll tell you that much.
smoking or something over there? He's got a magical smoke pipe over there? What's going on with that?
Can come back from this.
Are they vaping? Is that a magical vape pen? What is... Okay.
We'd not have to ask if the prince was still alive.
So, at the very least, I'm glad that they're being... It's been a minute since I've played a fantasy game that is willing to make mature references like that. Where they're willing to, like, show a person getting hanged, or they're willing to... I don't know, it looks like they're smoking. It looks like they're on a smoke break, Lorenzo. Especially with the way he's acting. Like, he's... Medieval vape. I know, right? It pretty much is. But anyway. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen, like, a fantasy game that's willing to, like, have depictions of, like, somebody actually getting hanged, or, like, smoking or whatever, even though they didn't show the hanging on screen. What's that? Oh, I see.
The king dead.
Flashback.
The son stricken. Are there none left to bear the weight of the crown?
We've done all in our power, but not even the kingdom's best. The saint could purify this affliction.
Over 10 years he has languished under this curse. How much longer can his body hold out? No doubt His Highness would protest. But since he cannot, we have no choice. For the man who cursed His Highness and murdered our king, there can be no mercy. I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all
I know. I thought the same thing. That is a very petite man. That is. I was like, yeah, that is a very petite person. granted, apparently they've been cursed, so like their body could be like getting very thin and ailing, but like it's on the line there. It's definitely one of those, hey, anime person, can you talk so I know which side of the line you're on?
Well, I guess I can't blame you for feeling nostalgic. You and the prince were pretty close. Anyway, getting to the capital was only the beginning. Now comes the real high-stakes part. You gotta go get enlisted, so you can meet up with our operative. Remember, nobody here knows who we are. Nobody here knows the prince might still have a claim to the throne.
That's why we're talking about it in the open on the street.
Nobody's gonna save us. Step 1. Let's figure out where the recruitment center is. Shouldn't be too hard, considering the need for soldiers.
I'm not sure if I like this, totally. I was hoping that it would be a story of kind of a nobody becoming king. But, whatever. It'll still be fun. I don't know. I guess I was just hoping for a bit of a different start to this journey than we're having.
So?
Okay. I guess we'll see when we get further into the game. But yeah, it is definitely one of those designs where it's like, hi, can you speak, please? I just need to know which side of the line you're on. Do you know where we're going? Feel free to admit that you're lost and ask me for advice. What to know in town? R1, local map. You're unsure what to do. Try pressing triangle. Calico always has good ideas, or so she thinks. Pressing up on the D-pad allows you to save. Okay.
Let's go see.
We don't have time for detours right now. If you're lost, check your map. Okay.
All right then.
So there's what looks like a tavern. Probably the recruitment center is up that way. And like what looks like an accessory shop.
Ugh, come off it.
Ah, it's an Elda. Why is one of your kind here in Grand Trad? What's wrong with me being here? Isn't it obvious? The church has made it clear. The Elda wield devilish magic that defies the teaching of sancticism. Devilish magic, she says. If you were so magical, I doubt you'd have it so hard in life. It's aggravating, but let's not cause a scene. Interesting. So we can wield magic that is threatening to the church.
Let's go see.
Oh, interesting. Dash is a toggle.
Let's go see.
Shady woman. She looks familiar. You're an important character.
Damn.
So you.
Nelda, huh? Pretty unusual in these parts. Oh, not trying to be rude. Just mind yourself. The city ain't the friendliest to us inferiors. Appreciate the advice. Yeah, be careful, or they'll get you too. It's like us all, Parapus. Okay. Parapus. So Parapus are like what you would usually consider like beastmen or whatever.
You little...
Imbecile of a driver. How long will this take? Can't help but notice we passed the recruitment center back there. Bet I could register for the army faster than this carriage can exit the city. So hurry it up before I put a bounty on your horse's head.
If I may.
Now, sir, please, have patience. With the royal funeral approaching, foot traffic is an all-time high. I think, yeah, I was also hoping for a bit more of a generalized perspective. I think it's fine playing as, like, a different race and stuff, and it'll be interesting, and I think it'll probably make sense for the plot, but I did want a more of a generic background for the protagonist. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. If somebody has a bust up and, like, they took the time to make actual, like, art for them, then they're usually at least a side character. It's cute that the pixie will, like, hang out on your shoulder and stuff. As long as you're, like, walking along and all that.
Look at that. The new model's out now. I could be out there slinging spells like a master if I had one of those.
Oh, the igniters or whatever?
I guess that's the big city for you. Everyone and their mother has a magic igniter. So many different types, too.
Now I want one.
Now I want one for myself.
Yeah, until you see the price tag.
Interesting that the MC is voiced. He's probably gonna have a little bit more personality than some of the other Atlus games.
Can't imagine what it's like
Protagonists.
having to wave around some shiny stick to use magic.
It's probably gonna be kind of like Persona, where you can kind of get a generalized idea of like what the person is like based off of what options are available to you and what they do in cutscenes and stuff. Kind of like how with the Persona 3 MC, you could have him say like, I don't care all the time, which even if you don't pick that as an option, the fact that it is an option or something that he could or would say kind of gives you an indication of like what the person is like. So
Me? I can whip out magic anytime I like. And I can even see the Magla in the air. Though, I'm not exactly an archmage.
okay, so we're using Magla. We're not using like mana. We're using Magla. I don't know if I like that or dislike that. I kind of like the fact that we're not just using beastmen, but also like how many other terms do you have to change just unless you have like a distinct magic system. If Magla literally turns out to just be mana, I'm gonna be annoyed because you could have just said mana. But
Wonders never cease. A fairy and an elden child. Are you new to our fair city? Well, I suggest you keep a low profile. Trust me when I say you don't want to catch the eyes of the lords and ladies. Ah, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I run this humble shop. Are you in the market for an igniter? Here's something that might catch a foreigner's eye. This is modeled after the royal scepter and would make the perfect souvenir.
No thanks.
No thanks.
What a shame.
I don't have the money for it, and I'd rather not be walking around with that thing.
How would you even know what the royal scepter looks like to begin with? You've really never heard of it? Wow. Where do I even start?
A symbol and instrument of the crown's sovereignty. Passed down through generations. If you believe the legends, it houses incredible magic. World-shattering power.
It'd be funny if... I'm sure the actual thing will come up at some point. It'd be funny if it looked nothing like this.
More practically, you might call it the world's most potent magic igniter. And in the king's hands, it was enough of a deterrent to stave off invasion.
Gotcha, so basically a weapon of mass destruction. Got it.
Now he's dead. But no living heir either.
So, like, what if medieval times had somebody who could wield a WMD?
Tragic, isn't it? Kingly magic is of little use without a king. You picked a bad time to visit, boy. I don't know why you're here, but there's trouble brewing.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'll keep that in mind.
A word of caution, then. Your survival is your own responsibility.
Well, that was unnecessarily ominous.
I think it was the
Can't
appropriate
hold
amount of ominous.
We'll need to be careful. Anyway, we don't have time to hang around chatting with the locals. We've got a recruitment office to find.
Yeah,
Let's head there.
can't say I blame him.
This is a joy.
Do the Lycon Magic Associates igniters have to be so damn expensive? I suppose all magic igniters are pretty costly. I hear you, mate. Maybe I'll lodge a complaint with the shop owner. You know, like I did at Exchange earlier. Well, the shop's owned by Brigatia Lycon. He or she isn't one to be trifled with. Regardless, I'm a paying customer. Let me speak with her. Oh, there's a new type of magic igniter. That's a bit gaudy if you ask me. I joined the army because I looked up to Lord So I looked up to Lord Lewis. Now I get my ass handed to me if I so much as mention it. What's the state army gonna do now? We won't find any decent recruits, given the messy state of things currently.
You are.
Oh, the recruitment place. Go down the streets towards the cathedral, it'll be the building on the left. You looking to list as a soldier? Not like the other work for... Not like there's other work for Eldars, I guess. Don't make assumptions. What, nothing left to say? Then get moving along, irritating little shite. I've given you more than enough. Charles Manson. Is it that you, Charles Manson? Interesting. So it's like a transition screen of like walking between areas. I was hoping you'd blend in with the crowd and no one would notice that you're an Elda. The people here have sharper eyes than I thought. Well, if you just look me in the eyes and notice that I have 2 different colored eyes, apparently that's a dead giveaway around here. Well, you don't want to draw any attention. Hiding your tribe is only going to make it worse. People may insult you. Do your best to stand tall.
All right.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. But it's for the sake of the mission. And on that note, the recruitment center we're looking for should be just ahead. Okay. Huh? Recruitment center? What, you want to enlist or something? It's just down this road, if that's the case. An Elda? Enlisting? Bloody hell. What'll it be next? We wouldn't be in such a sorry sight if Lewis was in power. Mouth on this guy. If we weren't focused on saving the prince, I'd give him a piece of my mind. Well, let's just grin and bear it. I've been pretty good, Lilith. I just finished up the Igus DLC last weekend, so we're trying the demo out for ReFantazio since it comes out next Thursday.
You there?
Young man, might I interest you in our shop wares? This is no ordinary... Young man! Sorry. SMT5 flashbacks. This is no ordinary Mustari shop.
Hey, sorry.
Oh, we're actually in the middle of something. We've got something to do at the recruitment center. Recruitment center? If you're lost, it's the large building down the street and to the left. Stop by when you have time. I do business here all the time. So if you're in the area, do stop by. Oh, sorry, dude.
I'm out of ideas.
Interesting you can actually, like, bump into NPCs, though. In, like, Persona and stuff, you would just kind of phase through people. I hear that Katharina caught another huge bounty. Yeah, even the army can't pin down its location, so we were at a loss about what to do. The Power Puss have a nose for these things, eh? She's putting the rest of us to shame.
I'm out of ideas.
When I heard His Majesty's been killed, I could hardly believe my ears. If he was a man indifferent to festivities, his death will not cause any disruptions. As long as we have His Eminence, Sanctum Forden, this country will be safe. I keep forgetting that dash is a toggle. Ooh, winged people. Grumpy Noble. Interesting that's it's not like completely like... I like the fact that it's not completely humans versus non-humans. It's like there are different... There's an actual hierarchy with different races. Because though like humans versus non-humans thing is very played out. Rumor has it Forden will become the next king. The decision's a ways off yet. It's the duty of all Ishkia to guide the ignorant masses. I agree. There's no future more dismal than having a Rorag as ruler. A Roag as ruler?
That's wrong, though.
Oh, sorry. I was poking my nose around. Okay. I like that there's like... Oh, that's fun. You can see like kids are... Oh, it's like, yeah, they're playing hopscotch with the squares on the ground. That's fun. I like the like little animations and stuff that people are doing around here.
That must be the recruitment center. I'll let you take it from here. It should be pretty straightforward. Oh, And if they start asking questions, just be as honest as you can. Lying will only make us more suspicious. So long as you don't compromise the mission, you're fine. Good luck in there. Knock 'em dead.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Okay, you got this.
A blue blood, are you? The army's no place for velvet-swaddled lordlings. Why are you here? Perhaps your noble family collapsed under its own weight. Is that it?
Lineage seems
Oh,
strange measure
you're a
for
party
soldier's
member.
worth. I'm looking to enlist. Is that enough for you or not?
An uppity one, aren't you? Fine, lordling. Welcome to the Guard, where it'll be your privilege to die screaming and bloody in service of your country. But mark my words, war.
I will agree with you. We missed out on the opportunity to have a Irish redheaded pixie following us around for the whole game, and that is a huge loss. But her voice isn't annoyingly high-pitched, so I take it as a win, Lorenzo.
Rousing words, Captain. You think threats will buy loyalty? No wonder nobody respects the Guard anymore. But I'm here now, so perhaps the kingdom isn't a lost cause.
I don't know about the filter. The filter looks a little weird, man. The models look a little weird with the filter. I don't know what it is. I think it's the outlines. The outlines being so thick is very odd. Or maybe Scottish, yeah. Scottish or Irish would have been fun.
Insolent pup! You will learn your place.
Don't. The healers have enough on their plates already.
Be gone, and be thankful you're still in one piece. All right, next. Hurry it up. An elder? I thought your kind was long gone. Age 18. An orphan, too. The army can always use more of those. So, what brings you to enlist?
I need the money.
I need the money.
Pragmatic, if nothing else. But I suppose a vagrant like you could use the work. So, what can you bring to our beloved corps? Any skills to speak of?
I wonder if this actually changes anything. I could see this being kind of like a stat thing. Like a small boost in some of your stats. Because this is strength. This is mind / magic or whatever. This is endurance. This is agility. And this is luck. This probably dictates us some starting like bonus stats. Yeah. At least voiced for like the decisions that you pick, which is kind of nice. So this is probably influencing different stats. Go for strength? I don't know, Lorenzo. I kind of want to go luck. Magic? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters long-term, because long-term we can probably max everything out. It's just that usually luck is the hardest stat to raise, so if I can get some extra here at the start of the game, it would be nice. Yes. Yes, Jeppo? You have a question? But that's just my thinking, is like, if we can get some extra... Or vitality. I mean, vitality or strength are good starters, but I think we'll be able to get through the beginning of the game eventually, and long term I feel like luck would be the way to go. Well, it's just the demo. If I mess up the build, I can always, like, pick something else in the main game if I want to start over. But...
I've always been pretty lucky.
I asked for your skills, boy. Right, last order of business.
This is a normal RPG, Jeppo. So there's no demons, there's no personas. There is a job system. there are embodiments of these jobs that very much look like personas when using skills, apparently, from what I've seen of footage, but it's a job system. So from what I've seen of like footage of the battle system and game and everything, is that you can like level up different jobs, get different skills from those jobs, and then I'm guessing that each job has effects on your stats and inherent skills, and then like you can and then you can keep, yes, I'm hoping it'll be a good job system. Yeah, it'll be nice to play. It'll be nice to only have to level up like 6 party members or whatever instead of like 20 personas. That'll be nice. And it should still have a good amount of flexibility because of the job system. It does have press turn and stat distribution on level up. Okay, so yeah, even if I mess up like and just get some extra luck here, then I can always adjust later. Right. Oh, here I said that. Oh, we're finally getting to the character naming about an hour in. Name of the story's protagonist. I mean, I already named myself, so we should probably name this guy something else, right? Oh gosh. Archibald. I don't think that'll fit. Yeah. Apparently it's related to their race as well. Also, the first Atlus game I played, where it's a non-Japanese MC, so. Maybe. I don't know. It seems like a pretty standard job system, like something you might see out of like some of the Final Fantasy. Akajima, Seraph, Harry Mobus. Ligma balls. Yeah. Well, I should probably come up with something. See, this would be the hardest part of, like, an actual Pokemon Nuzlocke for me, is I'm terrible at naming. Kiryu. We're probably not going to name him Kiryu. Hold on, let me think. I have an idea. Hold on, let me think it out. Where's a notepad? I'm thinking something out. So, we were talking earlier about this character. Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that. Wait, no. Okay, guys, I got it. So, we were talking about, how this character looks like the combination of 2 different characters, right? Magus. It's a combination of Makoto and Aigis. Specifically, the Japanese spelling, how the Japanese spelling of Aigis works. Which I think is technically more accurate. Also, it sounds like magic. Eh? I was trying to think of, like, I don't think Koto would really work. Yeah, isn't that perfect? It's pretty good. It sounds a little bit like magic. It's a combination of Aigis and Makoto, which is funny because, haha, it looks like a combination of... the main character looks like a combination of Medicine Aigis, or Makoto and Aigis. And it's even... the spelling even looks like medieval fantasy spelling. It's perfect. It's great. I think we're gonna go with this. How do I actually... Okay. Yes. Thank you. That's why I had to type... I was typing out there.
We'll get some use out of you yet.
I was trying to type a few different combinations to see what would work. So when I saw something that looked like magic, I thought it was pretty spot on. And we already named like the fourth wall break character myself, Box O'Reilly, so I'm sure that'll come up at some point.
All right, lad. Welcome to the Guard.
Yes!
I'm sure you heard about the monster sightings, so stay sharp out there. We're short-handed as it is, so be a good lad and try not to get killed on your first deployment. You can pick up your kit at reception. Standard issue guardsman armor and igniter. Kingdom property. So if you break it, it's coming out of your commission. On your way now. Up to. Next!
Okay. I wonder if the different types of igniters are related to the different job system. Like, probably, like, each igniter is related to a different job or whatever. That would make sense. Because they said there were multiple different types of igniters. What a long line. Guess we've got no choice but to wait our turn. You're so young. Are you enlisting too? Well, not much choice if you don't have a money or job. It makes the world go around, as it were. You want a magic igniter? Join the queue. Gun's only gonna get you cheered out. Blast it. I came here to enlist because I heard you can make a quick reaver here, but they really make you work alongside creepy Elder? Carapace I can deal with, but Elder are outright ominous. Where'd you hear that? God's own scriptures, that's where. Guess you can't expect an Elder to know shite. Let him say what he wants. Fighting someone like him would just be a waste of energy. What was the question?
Let's hurry.
Yeah, money is Reeve. That makes sense. What was the question, Lilith? Because I saw you talking about names. But was there a question outside of names? They said tribe didn't matter in the army. They'll probably put me up at front as a meat shield. Gonna find better work. I should get serve Count Lewis. His army's built on merit, so even a parapet would stand a chance. Yeah, I know. It's basically shit, but shite. We got a British Persona game? Probably just because it was localized in Britain. And I guess it is supposed to be more medieval fantasy. I didn't see the question, Lilith, if that's what you're asking. So if you want to say it again, that's fine. Or want to ask again. You're enlisting as well? The line starts behind me. If so, or was there something else you needed? You're really a noble? I take you overheard my interview. Yes, guilty as charged. I am a noble, but just a countryside son of a lord. My family is of no real consequence. Well, let's just say I have my own circumstances. I'm volunteering to fight in order to protect the kingdom. Foolish or not. Would you say human or choose a different species? I'd kind of want to be human, but I'd also kind of want to be an elemental or a mage. Well, it depends on the species. Well, because there are some real downsides to being a mermaid. Or something more aquatic, right? Well, usually the way this works is that humans are a good all-arounder, but, like, different species are, like, more specialized in different areas. That's usually how these things kind of play out. I don't know. I feel like having a tail and being a beast person would be kind of annoying just because, like, you would have to buy specific clothing or tailor all of your clothing. Get, like, all your clothing tailored. Or at least all your pants. Being an elf could be kind of nice, but also kind of boring. Because you live for so much longer. If the question is if I'd like to be able to use magic or not, I don't know. Because I feel like asking if I want to be able to use magic opens up a whole host of questions, like, am I the only one? Are other people able to use it? Yeah, I guess you would also be more resistant to fire.
tired they get. Sightings.
I think overall humans are always like a good all-arounder, but like I feel like any race or species you picked, you still gotta poop at the end of the day, you know? It's not like anything's like significantly better than the others. I mean, unless the setting is like that, where there literally are things such as high humans or whatever. There's just like humans 2.0 or high elves that are literally elves 2.0. But I don't know. I always wonder why the wisdom stat is associated with magic. Probably because wisdom is also associated with like studying and like learning things. So like the more you've studied and learned magic, the better you are at casting it. Outside of that, it was probably just the most closest like translation of like the original kanji. I don't know, you could probably trace it back to a certain game. Like you could trace it back to either a early JRPG or an early like other RPG. I bet honestly if you went back and looked at D&D or something, because D&D uses wisdom, Lorenzo. So I'm guessing that like RPGs and stuff also use wisdom as magic modifier because D&D uses it. So I bet if you went and looked at like why D&D uses wisdom, that would be your answer. Yeah. Also, in a lot of magic systems, using magic requires a lot of study and preparation. So wisdom makes sense for that kind of thing.
What? Of those huge monsters? You think that's why we're low on soldiers? Wish they'd have told us that. What do they call them? Something like,
Next! Another Clamar. Wait, no. You don't look like the others.
Yeah, intelligence or wisdom.
Surely not.
That's true, yeah.
An elder.
D&D has int and wisdom, yeah. That's correct. Depending on the type of magic. And also, depending on the RPG, they might use intelligence or wisdom. So I really do think it comes down to the fact that D&D did it first with those two different types, so.
Move it. There's a priority around here. We're arming squires and children with igniters now. Wasted good gear.
Yeah. Well, also, like, depending on the magic system, chanting, you might have to chant a lot of, like, words or whatever, or understand how the magic system works. So the more you study the magic system and understand how the different parts of it work, or memorize the incantation, the better you are at magic, probably.
It's better off in my hands. Give it here.
brute force, crude insults. The world is yours for the taking.
Care to say that again, boy?
It's interesting. It definitely looks like this guy is going to be our best friend character. Like, best friend guy character. It's interesting that we've got more of a, like, snooty kind of one, you know? Like, we've had a bit more of, like, hot-headed ones in, like, Persona games. So it's interesting to see one that's a bit more, like...
We all have our reasons to enlist. Now get back in line.
Collected. Even if he is pretty hasty sometimes.
Oh, another high and mighty Clamar, is it? You think your pretty words will measure up to pure Rousseau strength?
Oh, forget the tribes. This is a matter of pride. Now, you owe us both an apology.
Come on, no fighting in the ranks.
Man, I don't know. The models... Yeah. The models just do not compare to how good the art is.
Sorry for making a scene. You all right?
Thanks.
Thanks. You didn't have to do that.
Just felt like stepping in. Don't worry about it. Well, see you around. Try not to die out there.
Don't make my job any harder, please. Here, your igniter.
Cinder Igniter.
These days, most come with their own magna crystals. So with practice, anyone can use magic. To an extent, anyway. It's not the sort of thing you can master in a day. For now, newbies like you best focus on surviving.
The thing around his neck is apparently a magic igniter. The captain I spoke with earlier had one too. It must take on many different forms, like the ones I saw on Main Street.
And take this too. Protect it with your life.
Royal Capital Vicinity Map.
Wow, that's a real map. It's dangerous to even chart the wilds, but this is full of details. Only the military could pull this together.
I can't tell if the military is, like, competent or incompetent, because clearly they have a lot of resources, right? To be able to basically give everybody, like, a basic igniter that just walks in off the street and also is able to pull together a map, but...
Listen up, striplings. My name is Captain Klinger, and as of this moment, you miserable lot are under my command. I'm sure you've all heard about our forces being tied up with the funeral proceedings for His Majesty. But if you think you're on cushy security detail, think again. First, you will be deployed to a fortress at the northern border, where you will...
I hope this medieval fantasy has guns. They'll probably have, like, a gunner class, or, like, a sniper class. Very much... Definitely will have a character that can use bows. There's a decent chance we'll have, like, some medieval flintlock weapons of some kind with one of the classes.
Our veterans there will teach you the one thing you need to master if you're to survive. Pain.
Yeah, there's been a good diversity of characters and different races so far.
Perfect. That's exactly where our contacts hold up.
Enjoy tonight's sleep, because it's the last full night's rest you'll get. Dismissed!
Look at all the other recruits. They really are desperate for new blood. Oh, right. I know you don't know what our contact looks like yet, but he'll know you by your sword. He'll also know right away why we've come. And don't worry, I'll recognize him. Well, the charming captain is probably right. We should get some rest before tomorrow.
What about a hot-headed protagonist? I mean, that can also be good too, because the protagonist is usually someone... Well, it depends. Depending on the story, the protagonist can be somebody who gets caught up in a situation, or somebody who initiates a situation. So, in that case, they would be somebody who is a bit more forward and ends up getting themselves into situations to drive along the plot, which can also be gratifying too, because then it doesn't feel like the main character is just in it for the, like, along for the ride. Like, that is one thing with, like, Persona 3, 4, and 5, is, like, you're just kind of along for the ride in some cases with the plot. Like, you're just kind of thrust into this situation and you're just kind of going with it. I guess 5, not so much because you're choosing to be a phantom thief, but 3 and 4 definitely, where it's kind of, well, 4 too. I guess it's just 3. 3 is definitely kind of like that, where you're just kind of along for the ride for most of the story, and you're not initiating things are just kind of happening, which is a critique people have with Persona 3 story, where it kind of like takes a while to get going with the overall plot. Carry this, you filthy casual.
Hey, you awake?
Nope, I'm asleep.
Nope, I'm asleep. Good night.
Haha, very funny. Look, I just
Oh gosh, Cat Wonson.
have a lot on my mind. Can't seem to fall asleep. I'd heard about what it was like in the capital, but still. When you hear and see all this prejudice out in the open, it's a lot. You okay?
Alright, I'm back. What'd you say? I'd heard it was like in the capital, but still, when you hear about it, it's just how it is.
That's just how it is.
Well, I don't think that should be how it is.
Yeah, but
Some people are even saying it's the lesser tribe's fault that the monsters are showing up at all. These are the same kind of people who burned down your village, remember?
Rather not think about it, to be honest.
I'd rather not think about it.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I'll drop it. The prince was kind to take you in. He cared more about who you were than what you were. I can see why you'd want to repay him. Oh, speaking of, he's the one who gave you that book, right? Can I see it?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the MC changes over time. Sure.
Sure, I guess.
I gotta say, I've been curious. Thanks.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the MC will have somewhat of a personality here, because they've clearly delineated with a fourth wall break between the person playing the game as the person guiding along the main character along, and the actual main character themselves. Like, the game specifically calls out to you as like somebody who is only looking in on the story at the start of the game, and asks you to input a name for that. So I assume it'll come up at some point that the person playing will become somewhat part of the story, where they will have been the person guiding the MC along this whole time. And the MC himself will be his own character. Like, influenced by the player, guided along by the player, but he will still be his own person. Which is probably part of the reason why he's voiced. Like, you're not playing as him necessarily. You
That's what you call a
are...
fantasy story, right?
Oh. No, the player is somebody looking in on the story. The player's a person guiding along the main character. Interesting. Yeah, and see here, this book is about a fantasy story about our world. Because for us, this is a fantasy story about their world. But for them, a story about our world would be a fantasy. So they're kind of playing on that kind of idea here. With the idea of this being a fantasy story and everything.
So it's a fantasy world made up by the author. The prince loved those kinds of stories. Okay, let's see. It says the young traveler was amazed by the world he saw. In this world, there is only one tribe. All people accept each other, and no soul is born into discrimination.
Well, he's not talking about this world, then.
So not even any fairies? I guess less differences means less to argue over.
You would think.
In such a world, there is no need for sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and labor. Towers of glass that reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Busy streets well traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. Whoa. I see. No magic, no tribal.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting idea.
And equality for all? It really does sound like a fantasy. But it's strange to feel envious of a fictional world.
Yeah, they're really playing with the fourth indirect and direct fourth wall breaks here with the idea of a fantasy story. And like, would you actually like to live in a place like that? Not necessarily Lorenzo. This implies that somebody either has knowledge of a world like our own, or dreamt up of a world like our own, but with some of the problems removed. This is a world that somebody dreamt of in that world. Just like this world in this game is a world that somebody dreamt of in our world. If that makes sense. I mean, after all, we thought of this world. Why couldn't somebody in that world think of a world that's like ours?
Hey, are you asleep already? You know how hard it is for me to turn these pages on my own? Well, guess I'll just read more later. Good night.
Also, probably, metaphor ReFantazio. The metaphor part is probably very literal. where it's supposed to be like a metaphor for real life, you know? It's supposed to be a parallel to our own struggles in our own real life, but in a fantasy setting. I'm guessing that's kind of the vibes that the game's story is going for. I guess it'll be fun to see if I'm right or wrong on that. Oh, is this the prince? Oh, that is... Yeah. That is very much a...
In fact, I'm glad we
A, please speak so I know which side of the fence you are on. Wow, that is a very anime. Which side of the fence are you on design?
Like the place in this book. You said it was some kind of fantasy novel.
Hmm. Yeah.
Our lives are decided at birth by tribal.
Yeah, it looks like you have bonds with people, but
or by the differences that make us who we are.
it's not surprising there's not dating necessarily.
We live in. The elder here are a perfect example. If you'd not sheltered me, I would never have survived. And yet, they burned your home down. It's tragic, and no one should have to suffer so. Someone needs to fix... You okay?
It's probably less deep in the original Japanese.
Reality is much too cruel. I know that. But I'll fight it.
Yeah, it's very much one of those designs where it's like,
I'm a prince.
AK Central. Yeah, I'm trying out the demo since the full game's coming out next week, and I just finished the DLC for Persona 3 Reload, the Aegis DLC.
When all seems lost. My father taught me that.
Finished that last weekend. So, pretty good timing. Get to play the demo this weekend, then next week the game will fully come out.
People can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter.
Is the audio cutting out at all for you guys, or is that just on my end?
I believe in you. Familiar words. When I'm down, when I struggle, you're always there to help me through it. Let's do it. You'll be a hero. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, the other thing we could do is, if I get all the way through it and there's still time, I could, like, replay the intro and stuff and try and make different choices, or, like, grind more in certain areas, since we can carry progress over to the main game. Just my end? Okay. If it keeps happening, I might have to reconnect my headphones, but that'll probably fix it. I don't know, Lorenzo. I don't think they all do. I mean, they're always very pretty boys. I think it's just the haircut. I think it's the haircut mostly. It's the, like, bob haircut. And the, like, very petite features. Because, like, look at our noble over here. He's a pretty boy, too. But, like, he's not as petite. Also, like, secondary, like, well, the characteristics that would let you know from a glance haven't started to develop at that age, so it's a little easier to make a design where it's, like, not sure if it's one way or the other. Yeah, I think it's just because, like, they tend to be very pretty.
Northern border fort. One day remains.
I mean, you can kind of see.
Let's see.
Anyway. There's a... yeah. Well, you know what my, I named the main character K Central? Magus. It's a combination of Makoto and Aegis, and it sounds kind of like magic. I wonder how far we've come. Let's find our destination, the northern border front. So this is the overworld map. Okay. World map. You can view information about your surroundings in the world map. Use the movement keys to highlight the location you want to learn about, then press X. Okay.
This place here.
A fortress built to defend Grand Trad during the Annex War. After a long disuse, it's now manned due to frequent monster sightings. Information. Squad camp. Fort camp.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
The northern border fort. This is where contact should be. So hopefully you find him quickly. Got it.
Okay then.
All we can do for now is rest. We have a big day tomorrow. Just named mine Yuri. Yeah, I had to think about it a little bit. But I wanted to come up with something good. And that's what I came up with. Idols Day. Interesting. So they have different days of the week as well. And there is an in-game day system, so.
The northern border fort. The towering
I'm guessing... Well, at least in the demo, probably not. But probably in the full game too, there's a decent chance that it's not, because if the main character is their own person and their own character, their romance could be part of the plot, so. It could be, like, dictated by the plot, what kind of, what person the main character ends up with. Because, like I said, the main character in this game seems to be their own person, separate from the player. The player is only guiding them, so.
Oh, finally. Can hardly feel my legs.
So, the main character could very well have a specified, like, romance, where they're specifically interested in one person, or, like, not, it doesn't come up, or it's only hinted at in the main game, as kind of like a could happen in the future kind of thing.
Listen well, you lackwits. The battlefield is no place to sit on your asses, and the
I guess we'll see.
is always a battlefield. The call to arms could sound at any time.
I'm not sure, maybe Lorenzo knows if they've stated that there won't be a romance option in, like, an interview or something. But, like, I could definitely see it not being in the demo at all.
Stand to, curs.
I doubt we'll get too far into the main story anyway. This is, I think, supposed to be mostly the intro. I've seen some of the gameplay of this demo before, because I remember watching people talking and playing this demo at trade shows and stuff, so.
Spare us this drivel.
What do you think of retro game books? Can you be more specific? Do you mean, like, old guidebooks and stuff? Or do you mean, like, retro game books? Books about retro games? I'm not sure what you're asking, I guess.
Say, friend, I'm curious. What is it about that book that's captivated you so?
A world with no magic, a world with only one tribe. It's hard to explain. Actually, the interview did say no social stuff. Okay. So yeah. There's probably, like... It's probably... The bond system is probably a bit more limited than the Persona bond system then. I'm guessing it's more like something out of, like, the newer Fire Emblem games, where, like, there's a pre-planned, like, storyline with them. Not that Persona doesn't have a pre-planned storyline, but, like... Yeah, there are social links, but, like, it's not going to be like you can choose which way the social link goes, or your decisions can't probably, like, really affect the way the story goes, so you can't, like, break a bond, right? You can't, like, choose to romance someone. It's just, like, there's a path laid out in front of you, I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing, anyway. I guess we'll see. Maybe you can date someone, or maybe, like, the person you do date is, like, predetermined, so you just, like, you know, start dating them as the bond goes on. But it seems like bonds are more overreaching as well. It's not just a friendship, it's, like, a bond with, like, different groups of people as well. Because if you want to become king, then you're going to have to create bonds with a lot of different people. And, like, bringing people together is, kind of like, it seems like one of the themes of this game, where, like, this is a kingdom that was founded by grouping together a lot of different races, but now time has passed, people have forgotten about those times, and there have been more and more divisions between the different races and stuff. So, are the MC and Prince siblings or just friends? Friends, but it seems like they grew up together and hung out a lot. It sounds like the prince is presumed dead, but in fact escaped to the MC's village. But the MC's village was burned down, and most of his people died. That's why they said earlier that Eldar are pretty rare. Also, their race was apparently, like, condemned by the church as, like, evil and satanic or whatever. The main religion, so. Love the way archetypes are handled. Interesting. Yeah, I guess we'll get there when we get there. So what do I say here? What captivates me about the book? A world with no magic, a world with only one tribe. I don't feel like either of these is appropriate, right? Well, a world with no magic is interesting. The same way a world with magic is interesting.
It's interesting. It tells the tale of a world with no Magla arts. A peaceful one.
A world with no Magla arts would be better, would it? I admit, I'm intrigued.
I mean, I don't know if it would be better, but it's certainly interesting. If you want to be intriguing, that is intriguing.
So it's describing a better world. A utopia, perhaps. I'm something of a reader myself, but
I'm something I'm something something of a scientist myself.
You know, when the late king took the throne, he was quite the idealist himself. He made grand claims about unifying the people under his rule. Never managed to do it in the end, of course. Reform takes more than high-minded, eloquent.
Is he tapping his foot? Is that what that animation is?
Blind to see that himself.
Looks like it, yeah.
A babe with his first sword thinking he knows better than a king. Keep your mouth shut. No one cares what you think.
Nobody asked you.
Something to say? Go on. I'm listening.
What's the best way to handle this? I'm leaning towards either I apologize for him or my friends all talk. Don't worry, my friends all talk.
Don't worry, my friends all talk.
Hey! This one's sharp for a lesser tribesman. Well, Clamar, I'll let it go this time. But only because I like your friend. Next time, keep your complaining to yourself.
That's the last thing I need. Though I suppose I deserved it in part, speaking ill of the dead and all. My mouth tends to get ahead of my thoughts sometimes. Although, I'm glad a bad habit seems to have drawn us together. Oh, never got round to an introduction.
I'm gonna link this guy, aren't I?
Stroll. Leon Stroll, son of the Count of Harlia. And you are?
Magus.
That's my name.
I have that right? It's got a certain weight to it.
Although I suppose if we were combining the names, it would be Migus, wouldn't it? That's how you would pronounce that, because Makoto Igus, so it would be Migus. Magus, Migus. You could pronounce it either way.
For what it's worth, my title doesn't mean much. Here and now, we're peers and equals.
I wonder if there's already a canon name for this guy. Maybe. There probably will be one if they end up making like a manga or an anime spin-off or something, but
By the skin of my teeth! Now, where was I? Right, as for you, fresh meat.
it is kind of nice to have a canonical name through outside material for voiceless protagonists for like P3 through P5, just so it's easier to refer to them. So when I say Makoto, you know who I'm talking about. If I say you can know who I'm talking about, hopefully. Yu's name is a little Yu Narakami. Like, if I say Yu Narakami, you know who I'm talking about. If I say Joker or Joker, you know who I'm talking about.
Someone help!
Oh.
Is that a soldier?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a Klingon.
Hey, speak to me, man. What happened?
Oh, he teleported over there quickly.
Listen. Stay on guard. It's too...
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've stopped looking at footage of the game around the time that this demo got in the hands of like other people at like trade shows and stuff. Like I saw footage of this demo before, some of it at least, mostly the gameplay stuff like in the castle that's coming up in the next part, I think. But I stopped looking at footage after that point just because I didn't want to spoil myself too much.
Not one of mine. Must be one of the fort's guard. Those damn vultures across the border. They must have heard about the king's death. Anyway, to the fort. Double time. I'll stay behind to see to the poor bastard's wounds.
Voice actor's doing a good job here.
You want us to go on ahead? Alone? Shouldn't we at least send a team back to ask for...
I knew fear would take you at the first step. You want to turn tail? Are you a traitor to the cause? The guard has no place for cowards. You are part of His Majesty's Royal Army. Swallow your fear. Fight with pride. And we'll all have medals this time tomorrow.
He's right. We're warriors. Up there is our first chance at glory and riches. Damned if I'm gonna waste it.
Talk about a paid plant. Really gonna follow that?
Damn it.
Not terrible speech, but...
I suppose this is what we signed up for. Onward, to the fort then.
Alright.
Hey, I've got a bad feeling about
Oh,
this.
she's wearing, like, knight armor now.
It's hard to explain. But
There you
it's
go.
like there's a stench in the air, and it's getting stronger.
Hey, did something happen? Wait, is that a... fairy? Did you catch it yourself?
She's with me.
She's with me.
Yes, and I have a name, by the way. It's Gallica.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I do wonder if I'll end up, like, replaying certain sections of the demo, just to, like, see if there's, like, different choices or whatever, or just to grind more. We might end up doing a little bit of that tomorrow, because I don't know how long the demo is. I hear it's about 6 hours long, but yeah, we'll see, I guess.
So you travel together? You've stayed well hidden for quite a while.
Well, I didn't want anyone making a fuss. But we've got bigger problems right now. I can't shake this feeling. We gotta be careful.
Agreed. I'll follow orders, but I'm not about to let this armchair general send me to my death. Let's take a moment, then head in once we're prepared. I assume you know how to use an igniter properly?
I'm not so sure. He's never used one before. I mean, he's a commoner, so not much chance to.
Fair enough. Well, just stay behind me and you'll be all right. I swear I won't let you die. I'm with you.
New ally, Stroll. Stroll, a brave fighter trying to conceal his nobility, has become your ally.
Oh, this is bad. I didn't think you'd actually have to fight anyone. I just hope our contact in the fort's okay. Let's keep our guard up and hope we find out.
Okay. Idols Day. I wonder if that's like a Saturday or Sunday equivalent.
Okay?
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events, but don't lose sight of our mission, okay? Our ally is inside here? Yep, that's my guess. Somehow we gotta find him. Running with such purpose. What was that you're talking about? You said something about your ally. Oh, it's nothing. I was just worried about the soldiers inside.
I see.
There's one insane challenge you have the option of doing. Okay. It's too bad that they don't let you pick the hardest difficulty straight from the jump. I kind of wanted to do that, but I guess save it for a New Game Plus playthrough or something. I see. Well, whatever the case, this situation concerns me too. Let's go inside. Alright. I actually have to use the bathroom a minute, so I'm gonna go do that real quick, and then when I get back, we'll continue. Oh no! I'm not the right size on the toilet anymore! I messed around with the thing, and now it's not the right size. There. Let me, music. Alright, I will be, right back. Let me just use the bathroom, and then we'll get into the, fort section. Alright. Junior figures are actually bedrooms because they have nail beds. Okay. Now that I think about it, though, they did say that you wouldn't be able to do everything in the game on our first playthrough just because of the time system and stuff. So I wonder if there's like variable endings depending on like who you side with or whatever. Interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. One sec. The other thing I was thinking is I should probably be making more saves rather than replaying the whole like demo. It would probably be better just to make multiple saves, and then if I need to come back and like redo something or restart from a certain section, I can just like do that. But yeah, what do you call a gemstone pirate? A pirate. Arrgh, I be a pirate. Pyrite. Okay, so skills. What do we got? Mage fire. Weak fire damage. Nothing for Stroll, nothing for Gallica. Gallica is our guide. Items. Do we have any items? We have 50 HP. Buy those. We have a good amount of healing items to start with. Okay, some different clothes for everybody. Heirloom greatsword. A sword that adorned the walls of Stroll's home in Alia. Fairly old and originally intended as decoration. Slashing damage. Interesting. Plain looking but well-made sword. Given to you on the day you left home. Slash protagonist only. A fairy saber. A sword used by fairies for self-defense. It's too small for anyone else to wield. Okay. Attire favored by travelers. Cinder Igniter, a simple fire igniter. Enables the single target fire skill Mage Fire when equipped. Yeah, I'll be playing I think I'll be playing the Pirate Yakuza game when it comes out early next year. Provided Atlus doesn't release something else like right around that time. And even then, I might still play it, like, afterwards. Anything new in the memorandum that would be interesting to check out? Ooh, there's an entry on Stoll. Young man of the Clemmer tribe met with genial youth, values justice, good head on his shoulders. Comes from a noble family who seems to have complex circumstances. Led him to enlist in the army. Though new recruits grumble at being ordered to refer to each other by their surnames in order to prevent from familiarity, Stroll doesn't seem to mind. Oh, hello. 78 Sanctimonies of the Sanctus Church. Scotch, so the Pope. It's the Pope. The state religion, yep. Leader of the Crown Theocracy. Despite hailing from the Rog tribe, rather than the more common Clemmer or Rossonant tribes, he enjoys a broad base of support in the turmoil following the sudden death of the previous king. Many view him as something of an interim king, given his position as the leader of the moderate faction. Okay. Gallica. Fairy accompanies Magus on his journey, doubles as his chaperone for his special mission. Her diminutive size excludes her from participating physically in battles, but her special fairy traits allow her to more proficiency than Magus when it comes to sensing Magla and knowing magic. If she can become heated when her personal values are tested, she is a reassuring travel companion. More than 10 years ago, a mysterious attack in the royal palace left him afflicted with a deadly curse. Curse took its toll on his body. Bravely endured its treatment. His recovery was interrupted several years later when he and his closest aides suddenly vanished from the castle without a trace. The king exhausted all possible means to find him, but was ultimately unsuccessful. He was formally declared deceased 3 years ago, and a royal funeral was held in his honor. Carapace tribe. Tribe recognizable by bestial ears and a tail. Many variations. They're physically adept and often honest with their emotions, giving them a reputation for hedonism, for better or worse. They are drawn to parties and festivities, and while this happy-go-lucky charm is often to their credit, it can also be seen as recklessness. I haven't thought about Spelunky in a while. Rasante tribe. One of the most populous tribes of the United Kingdoms, second only to the Clemar. Long, pointed ears are their most distinguishing feature. They often boast excellent physiques, which has given them superior martial prowess. Rasante women are stronger than most men of other tribes. Many inevitably work in the military and often hold key offices. So that's the redheaded girl. Yep. So she's of this tribe. Okay. They're considered as influential as the Clemar, and the two tribes are sometimes called the prevailing tribes. So these guys and so the elf-looking guys and the Clemar are the two main tribes. Interesting. Okay. The Clemar tribe composes the largest population in the Allied Kingdoms. The most distinctive feature is the horns which grow on both sides of their head. Oh, sorry. Clemars have a broad diversity of facial and body types, which essentially makes them average. The Ukrainian royal family are Clemar. I think I'm saying that okay. And members of this tribe hold a majority of important positions within the government, leading many Clemars to internalize the belief that they are the kingdom's most preeminent tribe. Okay. And then the Elda tribe. The 9th tribe, distinct from the commonly known 8 tribes, they are condemned by the Sanctus Church for inheriting a dangerous magic heretical to the teachings of the Church. Their population is so small that to even see one in public is rare, and they face greater discrimination than any other tribe. In fact, many outside the main cities don't believe they exist. Okay. Fantasy novel. The book Magus carries with him. It's a memoir-style novel depicting a country with neither magic nor a notion of tribes, where people are not discriminated by birth. Literally a fantasy world. It's interesting that's memoir-style, because that's is written from the first person. So it's like somebody talking about their experiences living in a world without magic. And only one tribe. Recruitment Center. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's pretty standard. Kingdom. Interesting, there's no picture for this. Oh, there's like multiple pages for this. Okay. Gotcha. So this is a union of allied kingdoms. Yeah, okay. So this is like the place we're in now. Okay. Royal capital, Grand Trad. That was where we were before. Okay. Oh, magic. A general term for the technique that consumes power to cause phenomena that bend the laws of nature. It has a wide range of applications, from modest use in daily life to a destructive power in war. However, as magic igniters, which require a state permit for ownership and use, are required for people to be able to use magic, many cannot wield magic. Interesting. Magla, a technical term for magic power that serves as the basis for magic. There are varying amounts in all things found in nature, including people, plants, and animals. Because magla is sometimes crystallized in areas of high concentration, some scholars theorize that magla may be physical particles too small to be seen with the naked eye. That's interesting. Okay. And so those glass shards that we see sometimes in the UI are supposed to be magla, I guess. Interesting. But this really is just mana, huh? I was hoping it wouldn't just be mana with a different name, but it really is. Whatever. I'll get used to it. It's just kind of dumb. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them having their own terms for everything, because having different terms for, like, the Elda tribe, or, like, the Clemar tribe, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, there was a second page for this stuff. Let me go back and check that in a minute. But having, like, a different names for them is kind of nice, but, like, having, like, different names for, like, magic or, like, mana is kind of eh. Magla crystal, crystallized cluster of magla that forms naturally in places where high concentrations are left to fester. The scholars have recently developed methods to create them artificially. The color of the crystals depends on the formation process and impurities. High purity natural crystals are indispensable in producing high performance igniters. As a result, some value them higher than gems and precious metals. Areas where crystals are abundant are often claimed in the name of the crown as mining sites. Okay. Royal Scepter. Yeah, okay. That's the weapon of mass destruction. Royal Magic. A powerful magic passed down through the generations of Ukrainian kings, invoked through a unique magic igniter called the Royal Scepter. It has tremendous power that can bring about anything the king desires. There are several records of its use in the long history of the kingdom, be it for revolutionary or oppressive aims. But each is described as a cataclysmic disaster. I got there in the end. It continues to represent a strong deterrent to power to the royal family in the kingdom. Yeah, so it's basically a nuke, or like the magic equivalent of a nuke. Yeah, well, I think it's just if you're going to, it's like let's say you're making a fantasy world and you have something that is called a bicycle, or like you have a bicycle, right? You have a bicycle in your fantasy world, and you call it a McElvey. Why would you call it a McElvey? The reader knows what a bicycle is. The reader knows what mana is. Why would you call it something different? It makes sense. It makes sense to have different races. If you're going to make a different term for something that already exists, why? You're just going to confuse the reader or the player or the person who's trying to take in the story. Why would you confuse the person who you're trying to tell the story to if for no particular reason? Unless Magla has a distinct difference than just generic mana systems, don't confuse the reader more than you have to. Use the term that they are already familiar with. Call it a bicycle. Call it a horn. Call it a water bucket. Don't call it some random thing just because you think you're being clever. Unless you have a distinct difference than the original, like, thing that you're referencing. Like, if Magla was different in some way than the traditional mana that we see in, like, Final Fantasy and tons of other magic systems, then why bother? You're just going to confuse people. There's already a bunch of terms to learn with, like, the Elder Tribe, the Clemmer Tribe. Like, all this stuff is... I'm glad that they're just using it. Like, it's not taking the time to stop and explain it to you. You're just kind of understanding how things work based off of just being in the world and everything. I like that. Don't call it Magla. Call it mana. It's fine. I don't think mana is copyrighted. It's fine. You can call it mana. You can call it a mana crystal. It's fine. We understand what that is. It's a fantasy game. You can call it mana. You don't have to call it Magla. It's fine. By the way, that's just my 2 cents. It doesn't matter that much. It's just kind of annoying that they've come up with a different term for something that already exists. Music and magic. An unusual variety of magic that causes the listener to become aware of their state of mind through the form of sound and music. As it is a modest form of magic with seemingly no utility on the battlefield, it's considered a meaningless, trifling skill in society, and thus rarely used. Yeah, this is the canonical explanation for why we hear music all the time. It's just the pixie using magic to play music in our head all the time, which is kind of funny. Anyway, there was more stuff here on the second pages for these, so let me see if there's anything interesting here. Each of the 8 tribes possess unique physical traits, making them recognizable at a glance, such as the Clemmar's horns, the Rassant's long ears. The Elder tribe, however, bears no distinguishing feature, and thus are regarded as inferior beings. Oh, interesting. So the Eldar are literally probably the closest to the humans that we would know of, considering that they have no, like, horns or, like, different ears or whatever. They don't have, like, a distinctive trait. And that in itself is distinctive. That's interesting. The only difference is that this, that our MC doesn't have, like, monochromatic eyes. I can't... There's a specific term when you have, like, 2 different colored eyes, but yeah. Clemmers value freedom and dislike illogical restraint. They enjoy cultivating discussion, but do not always consider the situation or appropriateness of doing so, which occasionally leads to conflict. However, some studies suggest that this disposition is what drives them to seek governmental positions and other important offices. Okay, so they're very motivated, they're very driven, they come at things head on a lot of the time, for better or for worse. Many Versanti have prided themselves on outperforming others in strength. While this could be perceived as a self-disciplined contemptiveness, on the flip side, there are many with a belligerent temperament, obsessed with proving superiority in any situation. That is the word, yes. Heterochromia. Thank you. Yeah. Due to the stereotype, okay, yeah, so their happy-go-lucky charm is often to their credit. It can also be seen as recklessness. Due to the stereotype, they're looked down upon by other tribes, which prevents them from securing a foothold in politics despite being nearly as populous as the Versanti or Clemmer tribes. Discrimination against them is especially obvious in large cities. Okay, there wasn't a second page for that. There wasn't a second page for that. Or that. Or that. Okay. I think that's everything then. Sorry. I know I just spent like a good like 20, 30 minutes. Well, probably more like 20. Just reading stuff, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's a chance to see aspects of the world we haven't seen in the demo yet, so. I'm sure some of that will have been, or we'll get a chance to see what's going on in the world a bit more as we continue, but I'm sure not all of that will be explicitly said because it's already assumed that the characters who are living in this world understand how this kind of stuff works. Enemy design. Yeah, the enemy design for this game is going to be pretty interesting. Because you do get, like, human bestial things. You know what that actually kind of reminds me of, that enemy design? It kind of reminds me of the King's Staff or whatever that we saw, the King's Igniter that we saw, or the replica of it at that shop, with, like, the rib cage kind of look in the middle. Damn, this is horrific. So many dead. Reese, I hope you're safe. There's no time to waste. If we look, we may find some that are still draw breath. Okay. Oh, hello. Get back. We've got company. What? Deal with this one. It feels similar to that monster from earlier. Yeah. It depends for me. If the story is interesting, I'll try and listen to audio logs or read things. But, if it's not interesting, then I just don't bother. But, no, I find this interesting. This Atlus take on a fantasy world. So, I'm interested to see, like, some of the context and stuff. Especially trying to get things straight with, like, how the different races are perceived and, like, what kind of, like, the social structure is kind of interesting. Kind of looks like a platypus, doesn't it? I think that's kind of the basis of this design. With the egg and the beak. It's smaller, but is that a human too? Like we're gonna have to fight it. Wait, if it's a human, do we even stand a chance? Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, human. So they're using that as a term to refer to monsters. Oh, that's fun. That's a fun flip. Because of course a fantasy. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. All the more reason we can't just let it be. Trust me, I have some history with them.
What do you think?
Besides, our only hope right now is to join forces and strike as one. Would you not agree? I agree. I'm glad you still got your wits about you. With you here, we might just get through this.
Got it?
Look, we don't stand a chance against that thing if we attack it separately. We can only fight it if we work out a plan together.
Take care of it, please.
Understand? The two of us, working as one. I'll trust your judgment on the timing of the attack. Press triangle to engage in a squad battle alongside your allies. You can press Y, or sorry, not Y, triangle anytime. I'm auto-translating to Xbox controls in my head. But if you use square attacks to stun enemies first, you'll start the battle with the advantage. Stay on the enemy's brick gauge that appears next to them, eventually stunning them.
Things will be fine.
Okay, so this is the way you gain advantage. Gotcha. I'm guessing that's what they're going with. It seems like they've replaced the word monsters with humans, so, which is kind of interesting. Kind of fun. When engaging a squad battle against a stun enemy, one party member will perform an advantageous initial attack. In addition, enemies remain stunned at the start of battle. Be sure to take advantage of this. Okay. In squad battles, press square to attack with your equipped weapon, or press triangle to use skills, which consume MP. Interesting that the graphic shows Xbox controls. Performing an action will expend one turn icon. Okay. So this is, yeah, press turn system. Gotcha. On hard, enemies receive an initial turn icon in most battles. Okay, interesting. Right, somebody mentioned that in chat. Melee, wield arms, raise defenses, yield turn. 8 MP. Fire damage, weak. Okay. Oh, nope, that's the screenshot button, apparently. I can't, okay. So you can analyze. Oh, interesting. So the elemental system is the same as, like, Persona 3, it seems like. Because you've got the 3 different types of physical damage, and then you've got your standard elements. Interesting. Homo Oppo. Okay. Can't move due to stun, yeah. Okay. Yeah, didn't do too much damage with just the sword.
Let's go.
Alright. Unscathed Triumph. Gotcha, so we get bonus for winning a fight without taking damage.
I think we're in the clear.
Yeah. My bad, yeah. I was trying to see if we could see our stats, because I haven't found the screen to actually see our stats yet, I think. Yeah, we pulled through somehow. We're alive, and that's all I could ask. Let's press forward while we still can. Just be careful, there could be another human lurking. Yeah, I don't see a spot to look at, like, our status yet. I'm guessing this isn't the full menu, especially since I've seen screenshots of, like, the full menu and stuff. So. I wonder what's down here.
We have the edge.
And we'll win this. The power. Let's wrap this up.
Looks like Stall is on AI battle. Oh, recover from stun already? Okay. It's interesting that hard difficulty adds an extra press turn to enemies. That's an interesting way to balance difficulties. I wonder if the hardest difficulty adds more than one press turn. Stats increased. Okay, so there's some random stats. Yeah, okay, so you could see. Raises the item acquisition rate, etc. Interesting. At least they tell you at least one thing that luck does. It probably also influences criticals, ailments, stuff like that. Raises hit, evasion, and escape success. Lowers damage sustained from enemies. Raises magical attack damage. Raises physical damage. Let's go for 1 point endurance for now.
We made short work of them.
We're on hard difficulty, so having that kind of thing is usually useful.
This is our chance. Let's take them away.
Everyone, go!
Burn to ash.
Okay.
I think I'm getting used to this.
We made short work of them. They saw us. Put your toes, everyone.
We have the edge.
And we'll win this.
Pretty easy wins.
Just as easy.
That was the last of them.
Pretty weak enemies. Okay. Is there anything else we should check out down here? Yeah, it looks like there's something over here.
Nice
Item?
find. Looks like it could be useful.
Looks like that door is locked. Okay. Anything in the boxes if we break them? Doesn't look like it. Looks like items are just sitting on the ground if they're there. Okay. Interesting that the music is canonically based off of the MC's mental state. Since that's how the magic works. Oh, that's dumb. Invisible wall. Okay. How's the game going? Pretty good. How are you doing, Maddox?
It's terrible.
I've just started to get into combat and actual, like, gameplay of that, so... Oh, wait, this is where we came from. My bad. So we went down the stairs. So I'm guessing we have to go over this way. I wonder if enemies respawn if you get far enough away from them and come back.
Be careful.
Another one. If it spots us, this could get nasty. Catch it off guard. Gotcha. If you manage to sneak, successfully attack an enemy without being seen, there's a chance for their entire break gauge to deplete at once for an instant stun.
Okay.
This is our chance. Forward. Let's settle this quick. The power of not done yet.
I wonder if you can set allies to not be auto-attacking or whatever. Because he's using a lot of his MP already. Okay.
There's no way I'm stopping here.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll probably make a save at...
I think we're in the clear.
I'll probably try and make multiple saves here as we go through the demo. So that way if I want to recheck some things or grind a little bit more before the game properly comes out, I can do that. But yeah.
Come on. We have the edge. Let's settle this quick.
Okay. As long as there's the option later on. I was guessing that he's basically a guest character at this point, but
That was the last of them.
yeah. Still breathing, but he's badly wounded. And Elder, don't bloody touch me. I'm in a bad enough spot without you making it worse. That monster showing up was your fault, wasn't it? Bad luck follows you people. No, of course, how it all ends. Damn it! Damn it all to bloody hell! Don't let it get to you. You're not to blame. Soldier appears to be dead.
Welcome.
Alright, see you, Lilith. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck with your weekend and everything. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Run.
You're so young. Fresh recruit. Get away from here now. The thing is up ahead.
No.
Still more soldiers left alive, right? We can't just run and leave them be. Too late. That monster. We can't... Just run away. Stay away from that thing. I think there isn't there, Frida? If you go into settings, key configuration, there's all this, isn't there? So can't you, change it here? I don't know if that's on console or not, but at least on the PC version, it's there. Be dumb if it wasn't on console, but I could see that being a thing. Ah, damn, Delda. I knew this force was cursed. You are where that horror attacked.
Hey.
Calm down. It's not his fault the human appeared. You must know that, surely. But everyone's dead. They all had families. Help me, Elda. I don't care anymore. I don't want to die.
Damn it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on PC we have it. Her breathing has stopped. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, we probably could have gone up higher. There might have been something there. Wait! You too. Perhaps you're searching for someone. That's right.
I get it now.
I thought as much. Now makes sense. Why hide this from me? I trust you have a good reason. Well, to tell you the truth...
What?
Cry. Is that the human from earlier?
Was that?
Sounded like it came from the top of that tower. Maybe there are still soldiers fighting it there. We'll handle our personal matters later. Rescuing any survivors takes precedence. To the top of the tower.
Let's hurry.
Yeah. It's kind of dumb that's not on console, but I guess I can see that being a thing.
Hey, we found something.
I wonder if we should top off health. Nah, probably before the boss, but I think we're doing fine on health for now.
Okay, let's give this all we've got.
Dang, dead already? We are on hard difficulty. But, man. Doesn't feel like it. Well, the boss will probably feel like it.
We have the edge. I'm tossed, and we'll win this. Still up?
Oh, he didn't get the stun? Didn't we attack him while his guard was broken? Okay. Yeah, I'll let the party member spam his magic if he wants to. I'm gonna conserve mine. Just put another point into endurance for right now. Not dying is important. Speaking of, we should probably go ahead and use items a minute. Hello? Why are there invisible walls here? What?
Good one, Strong.
Always comes through. Only one left.
The power of fire!
Wish every fight was that easy, eh?
We made short work of them.
If you see use for it, I say take it with you.
What the heck? Why are there invisible walls here? Look at this. I cannot run forward here. Is there, like, a gimmick to this room I'm not understanding? Or is there, like, something not loading in here? That's weird. Once I attacked, I could go into it, but... This room is a little bit buggy. Huh. There's, like, a lot of invisible walls, but only from certain angles here. I wonder... Oh, you know what it might be? Is there, like, a hitbox around the pixie or something that I'm running into? Maybe. I don't know. Something's weird about that room. It could be just that there's a hitbox below the pixie that I'm running into, but I don't think so. That would be weird if it was that.
Okay, let's give this all we've got.
The power of fire!
There's no way I'm stopping here.
There are some enemies left. Stay sharp.
Let's push through. We have the edge.
Let's settle this quick.
I mean, on the one hand, we're getting through these early fights pretty quickly. As long as we're ambushing them.
Don't get too relaxed. These
On the other hand,
monsters are relentless.
this is supposed to be hard difficulty.
Come on. This is our chance.
Huh. Yeah, that's weird. I understand the graphics thing, because it's probably tuned to work specifically on the PlayStation at a certain resolution and frame rate. But at least key bindings should be an option. I don't know. I guess the only reason why you wouldn't want to put key bindings on, like, console is so somebody doesn't accidentally bork their settings, and then they can't, like, fix it. But at the same time, like, I don't know. It's odd. I don't know. I guess I could see, like, not allowing certain keybinds, like, not being able to, like, remap directional inputs or something on console. But, like, I feel like you should be at least able to change around, like, different attack stuff or whatever. And then you just have a script that says, hey, you need to give us, like... Yeah, there's another invisible, like, box here or something. It's weird because I can, like, go into it. I wonder if some items just aren't loading properly. Like, some destructible objects. Because, like, once I swing my sword, I can go into that area. Same as before. But, like, before that, I'm, like, running up against something. So I'm wondering if there's, like, some destructible objects that just aren't loading in for me or something. I keep getting caught up on, like, invisible walls or something. Very odd. The roof is just up ahead. Might I have a moment? If I'm honest, I have my doubts there could be survivors. Facing that monster together might not even save anyone at this point. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's the noble thing to do. Isn't that just throwing your life away? Why do it if it's possibly for nothing? Because if there's a chance that there's even one survivor, and I'll not be the noble who runs away. Not this time. I can never live with myself. This time?
Hey.
And you plan to forge ahead and despite the risks. I take it you refuse to die until you find whoever it is you're searching for. I won't let you die up there.
That's true.
I can't just leave you to die up there. Ah, I'm touched. Even in a situation like this, you worry more for your others than yourself. If I run now, I'll never deliver the message, and the prince will die. We have no choice but to press on.
I'm heading out.
Well then, lend me your strength. Okay. Is it going to give me the option to save here a minute? No, save is still not an option. Okay, cool.
What do you think?
This feeling, I knew it. That human from earlier is up there. What should we do? Give me a minute.
Right.
Let me just double check my health. I should probably top off if I need to. We're not missing that much health. Should I replenish my ally's MP so he can at least do stuff? Because he's used up most of his already. Alright. That should be fine.
Ready? Yep.
Try not to do anything rash. Okay, here we go. Yeah. It's weird that they're not giving me a save thing here, but there is auto-saving, so I assume that if we die, we just go back to the, like, right before this fight.
Damn. Such tremendous power.
It's horrible. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
We can't let it get away with this. We have to hold it off somehow.
Oh gosh. That is the exact same sound effect from Persona 5. The, like, start of battle, like, sound effect there.
We'll just have to make it work.
No, the mission depends on our survival.
Let's go. Fire.
Oh, only 3 damage, okay.
Monster. You're mine.
Yeah, we're not doing, like, any damage here. Is this a scripted loss thing? Probably.
It didn't even flinch.
Damn it all. I'm not going down like this.
I don't think we really have much of a choice here.
Burn. Burn to ash. How is it this strong?
What more can I do? This is my best friend. I need to save him. I can't die in a place like this. And yet...
I'll distract it. You two run.
But...
Above all else, I am a noble. And the noble defends his people. No matter the cost. Farewell. If you would repay me, then live. Forgive Forgive me.
What? No! Please, say something!
Sure! Don't be a fool. Just run before it...
Oh, fate-saddled child. Oh, anguished traveler. Thy fate is crown-twined, thy soul bound for the throne. The future yet unknown dawns in this moment. Thy path may fork, but only one may be chosen. Confront the threat before thee, or die here in obscurity. Now choose.
I choose.
So be it. Heroism lies in the soul that stands firm against its fears. Power awaits thy command. The time is come to awaken the hero within. Engrave thy very heart.
Interesting. A metal heart? The markings kind of remind me of the Demi-Fiend. With the style. Not literally engraved into the body. I don't know, there's very obvious parallels to Persona you could make here. With the whole awakening sequence.
What the heck is going on? Anyway, we've got to find a way to fight back.
Sick deals weak wind damage to one enemy, die, weak HP recovery for one ally. And we are the Seeker class. Okay.
Scour! Alright, that did the trick.
My own power doesn't even compare. What's more, I can use magic despite its lack of an igniter. Looks like I resist wind damage with this guy.
If we don't push back, we're dead. Can't we fend off those attacks somehow?
Attacking weak points. Certain enemies are weak to certain affinities. After you've hit one of these weaknesses, the word weak will be displayed. Okay. So similar. Yeah, okay. So, interesting. Hitting an opponent's weakness or scoring a critical hit against them will only decrease the turn icon by half. So you need 2 critical hits or weakness hits to remove a press turn. Interesting. Oh, no, wait. No, sorry. I misunderstood there. It's the press turn system. Never mind. Never mind. Only decreasing by half, so that's for your side, not for their side. My bad.
By this power. Hold on.
Attack the wing or leg. Oh, I see.
It's okay. Seeker! Scour!
We've got to hit the other spots too.
Interesting that there are multiple parts to bosses. I haven't seen that in SMT Atlus stuff yet. But it means that we'll likely be facing lots of larger bosses in this game that have like multiple parts to them. Well, I guess technically Yaldabaoth is kind of like that, where it has different parts of itself. That's true. Yeah, so there is Yaldabaoth.
We can't kill it fast enough. It's just gonna fix itself up no matter what we do. Ick. I can't believe it's eating from its own body.
Come forth, Royal Soul! Wind! By this power.
I guess also, yeah, some of the other bosses in Persona 5 did have like different parts of the boss to attack. Like the cup for Kamoshida.
If we don't take out those apple things, I think we'll regret it. You know, maybe there's something I can do. Hey, can you let me handle this?
Have Gallica knock down apples to keep the foe from healing. Man, talk about, like, Persona 5 mechanics. This is straight up, like...
Leave it to me.
Like the Persona 5 boss mechanics where you have an ally do something to reduce the boss's options. Not bad, but like, it's just interesting to see the overlap of mechanics and stuff. Okay, so it's about a 120 heal. I wonder if the archetype is always available to you, or if it's like a gauge thing, usually, where it's only active for a few turns. Second palace boss count as... Well, the first phase of the second palace boss definitely counts as having multiple body parts, because you've got the eyes, nose, and mouth and stuff as like separate parts of the same boss. Although they do act independently. But, so yeah, Persona 5 definitely had, like, some of this kind of stuff, where, like, bosses would have, like, different weak points or things to attack that would affect how they would, act in battle. Or would be, like, have separate affinities or whatever. And would, like, support each other or whatever. Save some MP. I don't know if it matters, but eh. Looks like my strength also went up when I got the archetype. I'm guessing archetypes also influence your stats, like they add a bonus to your